Hi everyone and welcome. My name's Alison and I run a YouTube channel called The Online Piano and The Online Violin Tutor. A link will be coming up to that now. Today I'm going to do a microphone review for you. I've been sent some microphones from a Danish company called REMIC, and what they've sent me is the V5200, which is the microphone that you would use in studio recordings for the violin. Before I go any further, let me just give you a little bit of background information based on the company. So it was founded in 2010 by Thorkild Larsen, and what they've done is they base their microphones on the overtones and the undertones that the violin produces. So they've split the violin frequencies into three sort of sections. So first of all, you've got the fundamental tone, which is basically the height, ranging from the highest range or the highest note the violin gets right down to the very lowest note that the violin gets. Then you've got the primary overtone register, which is amplified by the soundboard, and that is very much dependent on the type of wood on the violin, the type of varnish used. Then you've got the secondary overtone register, which is the friction between the strings and the bow, and what that does is it picks up the movement of air molecules. So it's three main sections there that they've been working on for the frequencies for these microphones. First of all, when you get your microphone, it comes in a nice little box like this. It's very nice and it's very lightweight. When you open up the box, the microphone comes in a little pouch and you get a little kind of leaflet that goes with it as well. If I was going out and gigging, I wouldn't take it out of the pouch just in case the pouch got crushed. I'd probably just pop it in the box and put it in my bag, just in case my bag got knocked around, then it would be a nice little box. It's really not very heavy. It could just sit quite nicely in the bottom of the bag, so it's not obtrusive at all. So it comes in the little pouch that you get, and when you remove the microphone, it looks a little bit like this. So you obviously get your cable wire, and the microphone looks like this. So it really is just a tiny little wedge here that you see. And there are two places that you can put this microphone. So first of all, you've got a flat edge of the microphone, and then you've got sort of like a wedge, almost like a springboard if you like, that's going up. You would place the flat part of the microphone on the violin, and the two places that it goes are, you can have it underneath the fingerboard or you can have it underneath the tailpiece. So if you were to pop it underneath the fingerboard first, what you would do is take the flat end of or the flat side of the microphone that sits against the wood of the violin, and then the higher part of the wedge, you can see where the hole of the microphone obviously is, and then obviously there's cable out of the other side. What you do is just pop that underneath, just slip it right underneath the fingerboard, and there you go, it sits quite neatly into the violin. The second place that you can have the microphone is underneath the tailpiece. Put it underneath the tailpiece, the flat side goes down again, the microphone has to be obviously facing the bridge, and you just simply just sort of push it in until it sort of sits or wedges itself nicely into the tailpiece. So this is the V5200. This is for studio recordings. Because it's a studio-based microphone, it's going to pick up everything. It's going to pick up the entire range of the violin. It's going to pick up all the outside noise as well. There's going to be no suppression on the microphone, as there was with the green one. The suppression just means that it isn't going to pick up anything outside of about a foot off the violin, so it isn't going to pick up any other instruments or the audience. This one will do that. However, if I was in a studio environment, the doors would be closed, I'd have soundproofing on the walls, that kind of thing, so I don't have any worry about any sound obviously bleeding over. So I'm going to go ahead and do some demonstrations for you now so you can hear what the microphone is going to sound like. Now what I'm going to do is put the microphone underneath the fingerboard. Again, you'll hear the same thing with the microphone on the tailpiece. So here are the demonstrations. It comes with a silicone woven cable, which I think is really good because it really does limit the amount of noise especially when you've got a cable banging against the violin for whatever reason. The little wedge that comes with it is just ingenious as well, because there's so many places you can tuck that into to make sure the cable is nice and secure. It's invisible to the audience as well. I think if I probably hadn't mentioned anything at the start of this video and you'd just gone straight into seeing the demonstrations, you probably wouldn't have even noticed that I had a microphone somewhere sitting on the violin, just because it's very small, it's black, it's dark, so unless you were really up close, it would be very hard to see the microphone as well, especially compared to the other one that I was using where that is blatantly hooked over the violin, for example. They say that you can keep this on in the case as well, so obviously unlike this one, which I have to keep removing all the time, you can keep this on your violin wherever you like, under the tailpiece or the fingerboard, in your violin case, just obviously to wrap up the wire, but you can keep it in there. So the cost of this is retailing at the moment for 739 euros. It's a Danish company, so obviously it's selling in euros. Roughly translated today at this time, of course, is in English pounds 626, so 625, 630 pounds, something like that for this microphone. And in dollars, that's roughly $996 to about $1,000, depending on the exchange rate at the time. So you can buy it directly from their website. It'll be coming up on screen now, which is www.remic.dk. So it's coming up on the screen. They are working at the moment to get it or with some international and UK retailers as well, so that you can buy it internationally from your own company and from the UK as well. But at the moment, you can buy it directly from their website if you want to. So I guess that's everything that I need to mention with that, or with the microphone. In conclusion, would I buy this microphone? Yes, I would. Two negative possible points for me would be the cable for me might be slightly a little bit short. It's a lovely cable, but it's probably about 1.5 meters, 1.75 meters, something like. I haven't measured it exactly, but I just feel if my recording equipment is here next to me, if I wanted to be a little bit further out, that might be a slight issue for me. It wouldn't stop me buying the microphone, because I'm sure there are probably connectors that I can get to make the cable longer, and it wouldn't matter. Another thing would probably be the price. It's quite an expensive microphone, however, it is worth every single penny. I must admit, when I first got the microphone and I got it out of the box and I did have a look at it, I probably wasn't quite convinced, but as soon as I hooked it up to the recording device, got everything going, listened back to a few raw recordings before they were even mixed, I was pretty impressed. I very much wish that I'd had this, say, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago before I bought my other microphone, but obviously this was just in production then. So this is a lovely piece of kit. I would pay that money for it. I would actually buy it, especially with the kind of stuff that I'm doing at the moment, the professional high-end stuff. You can't afford to be having kind of inferior microphones. So that's my review on the REMIC microphone for the V5200 for studio recordings. It's a brilliant microphone. Yes, I would definitely recommend it. Hopefully this video has been helpful for you and you've been able to get what you needed out of this video. So thanks very much for watching, everybody, and I'll see you all next time.